Hello and welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop. I'm your host Frank Foster, and we've got a really interesting show today because we're going to take a little walk through Army history, Army medals, badges, and insignia. About 25 years ago I wrote a book called The Complete Guide to United States Army Medals, Badges, and Insignia. And it went through a couple of editions and then sold out. So I got carried away and came up with a second new book, also a complete guide to the United States Army military medals, badges, and insignia, and it is now sold out after several editions. The good news is we have an absolutely brand new, bigger, better than ever book on United States Army decorations, medals, badges, and insignia, and I will tell you it is the most complete one in the world. Now, special thanks, by the way, to Medals of America and Fountain, South Carolina for sponsoring all the work on the book and providing all of the insignia you're going to see. And if you enjoy these shows, please give us a like. Even better, subscribe. It'll keep us going. So what I want to do now is to take a copy of the book, and make sure I've got this correct, and I put it into a, as you can see, a binder, and I'm going to walk you through the book, and I think you'll enjoy it. And by the way, it's available for you on Amazon at a special price, and if you're an Amazon Prime, free shipping. Okay, let's take a look at this new book. Well, United States Army medals, badges, and insignia comes in both softback and hardback, and as I said, it's available on Amazon. What I'd like to do now is take you on a double-time tour of the book. And it starts with a short history of military medals, badges, and insignia, and then goes into the period of the Revolutionary War, and the medals that Congress awarded, the 11 medals that Congress awarded during the Revolutionary War. And it's really kind of interesting because you get over here to Lieutenant Colonel John Edgar Howard, who got 7 sword cuts in the Battle of Cowpens. That's a hard way to win a silver medal. And it's very interesting here. Benjamin Franklin's Victory Medal, if you look at it, what you're going to learn is it was the basic for the design of the first Medal of Honor. And it goes through the Military Merit Medal, bad luck for our spy from Great Britain at the time, and then takes a look at the War of 1812, and you can start to see the evolution of United States military insignia and the introduction of the eagle. Well, we move right along through the Mexican War, and when medals started to be actually presented to soldiers other than general officers, the very short-lived Certificate of Merit around 1905, and then the first medals really from the Civil War. And what's very interesting when you study this, you will see that Congress authorized the Civil War medal to both Confederate and Federal veterans. Ha! Did you know that? Well, it's right down here. Okay, then we take a look at some of the Corps insignia, the Indian campaigns through 1891, the Military Society medals. If you don't think they had medals before the Civil War, you haven't seen a portrait of, like, well, General Sheridan. There were lots of military societies, and this tells you the ones that you can still wear today. The war with Spain, the Philippines, on through the Mexican Service Medal of the Texas Cavalry, and then we get into World War I and the World War I Victory Medal with all of the attachments. Then we head into, well, oh, by the way, there were thousands of World War I commemoratives, and this gives you a little taste of those. Then we get into the World War II insignia. We talk about the basic medals of World War II and which areas they were awarded. We touch on why in the world veterans did not come home with medals. And then we move to Korean War and take a look at the medals issued there, and catch up on the Korean Defense Service Medal too. And we take a look at the Vietnam War, and these are just little historical overviews, the period of rebuilding the Army, 1975 to 1990, the Gulf War, the NATO War, the Global War on Terror. And here again, these are just summaries sort of give you the historical perspective. Then we take a look at all of the hat badges, buttons, and lapel pins issued the Army. And then it gets, whoops, let me fix this. We take a look at the officer rank, starting back in the very earliest days. And then some examples here of all the different variations of different warrant officer insignia. Then we take a look at ROTC rank, And then the background and development of enlisted ranks, going back to the Revolution when it was a epaulet. And then we take the current United States Army enlisted ranks, and I think you'll find this very interesting. We also have examples of them back to World War II. Then we get into the introduction of branch insignia, and this covers every one of the branches currently in the Army: combat arms, combat support, combat service support. You see I've made a few marks here as I'm always constantly reviewing the book. Then electronic warfare, field artillery, finance corps, the general staff detail, judge advocate, and of course the infantry, the queen of battle. The new logistics branch, all of the medical department branches, military intelligence, the obsolete ones from when there was a military intelligence, ordnance, National Guard Bureau, Signal Corps, transportation. Then we get into the Army badges to include the combat infantry badge, and we group these according to the way the United States Army groups them, and we start with that. In the combat action badges, all the variations, the expert infantry, the combat medical badges. We take a look at even the astronaut badges for the Army, and the new space badge with the astronaut device for the Army. Aviation badges, flight surgeons, air crew, EOD, parachute badges, of course in the World War II glider badge, and then the variations of combat parachute jumps, and of course the military free fall badge, and and then the air assault badge, which a number of soldiers have earned. Then we take a look at the Ranger tabs, including the original Ranger diamonds, and then the Special Forces and few sappers. And then we go on through the divers badges, mechanics badges, even the Army Air Force wings from World War II. All of your marksmanship badges, going back to the original one from the 1898, I believe it was. And then we take a look at all of the identification badges. So if you serve in the Office of the President, the Vice President, or the Secretary of Defense, or the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the U.S. Army Combat Service Identification badges, the liver patch, the Honor Guard from the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, drill sergeants, National Guard recruiter badges, all of the new badges to include, well, you'll never see this one anywhere else, the National Defense University Identification badge. MPs, and the variations of how you wear overseas bars and service stripes. It covers fourrures and lanyards and the blue cord. Now this is a really neat addition. Here are all of the major patches from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and, well, the state shoulder sleeve insignia, as well as the liberation of Iraq, and then some examples of the new combat service identification badge compared to the actual patch. Then we get into the different types of medals and ribbons and attachments, the variations of different military medals. We take a look at all of the ribbons. There's an incredible ribbon guide. For example, if you wanted to just find one ribbon that you found and the devices that go with it, well, it's very easy to locate. Or even if you have something else, well, wow, there you go. Philippine Defense Ribbon. Probably nowhere else in the world is anything like this. The current U.S. Army ribbons and devices, all of the right breast displays, which are the unit awards, then all the correct order of multi-service awards, because a lot of soldiers have prior service in another unit of the armed forces, correct order of wear for foreign awards to include United Nations and NATO, and then all of the devices that go on United States Army ribbons and exactly how they would be put onto the ribbon or the medal are shown in detail. I don't think you'll find this anywhere else. Then we go into the United States Army Pyramid of Honor. We take a look at the Medal of Honor, all the variations of it since the Civil War. Then we go into starting with the highest of the Valor Awards after the Medal of Honor, of course, the Distinguished Service Cross. And hey, we'd be remiss if we didn't show you the original one from World War I. And whoa, who's that? Eddie Rickenbacker. He won a lot of Distinguished Service Crosses. Then we'll go and take a look at every one of the United States military medals that are issued in the United States Army, starting with the Distinguished Service Medals. And it gives you a complete layout of the medal, including full-size, regular, and gold finish, the reverse of it, the miniature variation, mini ribbons, ribbon bars, lapel pins, and examples of how they're presented, all the Legion of Merit, and the variations of the Legion of Merit that are presented to foreign or allied officers, the Distinguished Flying Cross, all of the awards for valor. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, like the Meritorious Service Medal. It gives you the complete details, and it shows you how they're often mounted and the certificates that come with them. It goes you to the Commendation Medal, the Service, Joint Service Achievement Medals, the Army Achievement Medal, and then it goes through the Presidential Unit Citation and the Joint Unit Awards and the Valorous Unit Awards. And by the way, these are all presented in the correct order of precedence. The Army Good Conduct Medal, and then we get into the service medals for World War II to include the various campaigns and examples of how they would be displayed through the Victory Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Korean Service Medal, and different variations of how soldiers have displayed their medals, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Southwest Service, Vietnam Service Medal, and all of the campaigns, Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, Global War on Terror. I'm going to jump ahead into Humanitarian Service, and we get over here to commonly awarded military decorations from foreign governments. And here's a series of the Vietnamese medals that were awarded to many soldiers who served over there, and commonly awarded World War II medals. All of the United Nations medals that are authorized to be awarded to United States personnel, all of the Article 5 and non-Article 5 NATO medals. Yeah, you got to read this carefully. It's confusing at times, but I think we laid it out pretty clear. All of the foreign medals, to include the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal and the Kuwait Liberation Medal, even the commemorative medals that are available. And then we take a look at how all of these are worn on the different uniforms, to include the male officers, female officers. You can see the new uniform here too. We're no slackers, we got it all. And enlisted male, enlisted female, and with the blue and the new World War II variation. We talk about the wear of the uniform by retired personnel, how to determine a veteran's medal, where you can claim a veteran's medal. And this is really cool. This shows you how to read the DD-214 from World War II, and it shows you what it doesn't tell you. So it says, okay, if you look here, this is what the soldier came home with, and this is what he's really authorized. I think you'll find this little section fascinating. And we talk about the campaign medals for each one of the major conflicts. I think you'll see that. Oh, this is really great. Here are all the abbreviations that you would find on a DD-214. And then we take a look at awards displays, or how veterans have put their displays or shadow boxes together for World War II, for Korea, Cold War, Vietnam, Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq, and then other multi-career displays, single displays, and so on. And then, of course, it has a great index. So that's it. The U.S. Army Medals, Badges, and Insignia, a complete guide available for you on Amazon. Thank you for joining us today for our review of this new book on United States Army Military Medals, Badges, and Insignia, an illustrated history. I think you'll find it the most complete work available out there today, and it's on Amazon and free shipping on Amazon Prime. So once again, thanks for joining us, and see you at the next edition of Veterans Medals Workshop.